Welcome to La Gazette, your source for fashion, beauty, and Parisian lifestyle on YouTube. Today we're going to talk with the founders of Parisian brand La Bonne Brosse, and they will give you a masterclass on how to brush your hair. Watch until the end for a special gift for our viewers. Guys, we're here with Flore and Pauline, the founders of La Bonne Brosse, and we're going to talk about our hair. Nice to meet you, girls.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Regina.
Okay, let's start with our first and most important question. How did you start this brand? Why a brush brand?
Well, as every story, it starts with something very personal. So about 5 years ago, I had massive problem with my hair. I started to lose them. They were getting greasy very quickly. They were not looking shiny and healthy.
They're so pretty.
Well,
now.
I brushed them quite heavily. But in all fairness, I tried many different things and nothing really worked. I tried products, I did injection, I tried serums, massages, everything. Nothing really worked until the day that I met someone, a very charismatic hair expert. Her name is Véronique Lamrani, and she specializes in hair. And the one thing she told me is that, do you brush them? And that question sounds very basic, and as 95% of women, yes, I do brush my hair every day. But then she asked the question, she's like, yeah, but do you brush them with a good brush? And I was like, oh, what is a good brush? And that moment I was like, oh, and I started looking for the right brush, the Bonne Brosse, as we say, and realized that actually that product doesn't really exist on the marketplace. So that's when I turned to Pauline and I said, listen, we're looking for a business idea to start our own company. And I said, well, there might be something to do around finding the perfect brosse that would take care of your hair.
So La Bonne Brosse means the good brush, the right brush.
Yeah. The right brush.
Okay, so tell us more about the benefits of brushing the hair, because you went to this medical expert who advised this. Why is it important to brush the hair?
So it's two main aspects that are complementary, of course. First aspect is that massaging the scalp with the right brush with the right things that really penetrate your hair, but also add the right pressure on the scalp. It really helps the blood flow. So the bulb of your hair, it grows and it's shinier and healthier when it's really nurtured by all the blood flow. And the second benefit, it's also penetrate the hair and then distribute the sebum all around the length of your hair, which means that the hair will be hydrated but naturally. So everybody talks about how my hair are too greasy, I don't like when my hair are greasy, but very often it's because it's not brushed the right way. Because when you brush your hair, the greasy aspect, it completely disappears and it becomes a benefit in itself because it comes hydrating the hair.
When you asked me, do I brush my hair? I said, yes, of course, like anyone would say. But when you asked me how often, I said, well, I go out of the shower, I brush it, it's brushed. But you told me that is not enough.
No, not enough.
So how often should one brush the hair? Should it be dry, wet?
If you have normal hair, let's say like me, we would advise that you brush them at least twice a day. Because of all the benefits that Pauline was explaining, the more you do it, the better it is, and the sooner you'll get the results. And the results are shinier hair, healthier hair that starts to grow again where you had them a little bit less. So all of those benefits, the more you do it, the quicker they will get.
Well, tell us about your brushes. The brushes you developed, they're so pretty. Let's have a look.
No, we did spend a lot of time on design. It was something very important for us.
Yes, the idea is that it's something that you touch every day. I mean, every day you have your brush in your hand. It's somewhere. Either it's in your bedroom, your bathroom. So it's a very close object,
So what is it made of? Because I was very shocked to learn that this is not plastic.
So we worked on a very specific material. Actually, it was one of our quests with Pauline was not to use plastic. So we didn't want to use plastic. We didn't want to use wood. We wanted a material that was durable, bio, and was totally fine to use on near your skin, right? So we rented a car. We did a little bit of a tour of France, and we ended up in the Jura region, the far east of France, almost at the border with Germany. And this is where we found the last supplier in France of this amazing material that is called cellulose acetate. So if you work in luxury, you would be familiar with cellulose acetate because it's the material that is used for luxury glasses, eyeglasses.
So it really means that it's something completely responsible and that will never harm the planet, which was really important for us.
And tell us about the little...
Yes.
The bristles.
The bristles. So actually we spent a lot of time with Pauline studying all the different types of hair to find like what was the perfect brush for every single man and women out there.
And the first one is maybe the more traditional one. It's made 100% of boar bristle.
Boar bristle.
Yeah. So they are organic natural bristles. It was super important for us to check how they are extracted and to understand that the animals are not killed for the bristles and they are kept in an environment that is not industrial.
And why boar bristle?
It's because it's made of keratin. It's 100% keratin.
Like the shampoos.
Like the hair, actually.
So with our Bonne Brosse, we really wanted to find the best quality for every single part of the brush. And that's what we did here. So that's number one. Number two is a mix of nylon fiber and wild boar fiber, and this one is really, I would say, for normal hair. So this one would be more for thinner or more fragile hair or fragile scalp. This one would be for my type of hair, your type of hair, let's say, because it has the benefit of detangling with the nylon. It's a nylon that we really selected carefully so that it's soft enough not to cause any irritation to the scalp and solid enough to really detangle in the best way possible. So this one is, we call it universal because it really works for every single hair type as long as your scalp is not too sensitive. If your scalp is sensitive, then we have the same one that has those little epoxy balls on top of the nylon fiber that would really massage your scalp in a softer way. Okay. So you'll get the same benefits of detangling plus the care of the boar fibers, but you'll get something much softer for your scalp.
Okay.
And then finally, for thicker hair or to use after shampoo for you, Gabriela, we have this one that is 100% nylon. So this one is actually our vegan version for those that doesn't want to use animalic hair. And this one's really perfect for detangling and perfect for massaging. We actually call it the miracle brush because it's something that doesn't really exist on the marketplace. There are a few Japanese scalp brush that have the same type of fibers, but they don't have the bounce of the cushion, which is really good for massaging your scalp. So this one is the most amazing one to be used on wet hair, to be used under the shower if you want, to detangle long hair, amazing for kids as well, and amazing for thick hair or very curly, frizzy hair after shampoo.
How do I know which to choose?
Aha! So, first of all, you might love one more than the other because you've always used something that has the little epoxy, so that's the one you want. You know, there are women that even if you tell them this one's more appropriate for your hair, still they will want this one. But what we developed is based on the 150 type of hair that we looked at with our panel of experts for a year. We developed a diagnostic tool available on our website, so labonnebrosse.com, where in 5 very basic questions you answer and it tells you which brush is the best for you.
Okay, I have this one myself, number 2. I love it, and yes, my boyfriend likes it as well. So for short hair as well, you do the same, right?
That's my favorite one, number 2.
I read that you can brush your hair in different ways depending on what you want to achieve. Yeah. On your website, you propose Beautify, massage, rejuvenate, and untangle. Okay. Can you tell me like the difference? How do you brush for each objective?
The massage really, so you can use this one, but you can use the 3 of them. But for example, this one is very good for the massage. So the massage really, you want to insist on areas that maybe are less dense in terms of number of hair. So it stimulates really the growth of and the blood flow and everything. So maybe you can really insist here. And what is really important is that you really go from the front to the back, but also you go from the back, not to the front like this, but you don't forget to brush
the other way around.
Because I don't la nuque, I don't know in French, in English the name, but the back of the neck is really sensitive. And sometimes we forget to really brush this part, but it will relax you in a way that is like really, really pleasant, but also it will help the blood flow in a way that you don't get when you brush only here.
Then what would be, for example, a rejuvenating brushing?
Rejuvenating, you would use a brush that has, same, the fall would work, but something where you insist and you do it in a way that's a little bit probably stronger.
Okay.
But the objective here is really to irrigate the scalp and all the blood cells, because we have to understand that in the scalp there's so many nervous cells around that are worth massaging, because it just makes you feel better in a way.
Yeah.
So we love that massage because you take any brush and you do massage them a little bit vigorously. So what it means vigorously is you start from the temple to the back, but adding a little bit of pressure. Then you can do also what we love suggesting women to do is put the hair upside down and start brushing them upside down, because all of those invert positions, so the downward facing dog, like all of those, they are really good for growing your hair.
And also it's good to do this one when your hair are not so clean, because also when your hair are more like, maybe it's 1 day, 2 days, 3 days without shampoo, then you have accumulated a little bit more of oil or sebum on your scalp, and then it's very good to brush them even before you shower.
And how do you untangle properly the hair?
All of our brushes would help detangle, but then this one is for sure the most professional one. Very important when you detangle to start by the bottom of the fibers and getting back up. But then the most important thing as well is that you have to start with the hair that are underneath.
Okay.
Like not because most of the people they would start doing this and then forcing until it gets down, but that's not the way it works. You need to look at the one below first, and then you start by the bottom, and then slowly but surely you climb up, and then you let the other fibers up, and same, you start by the bottom.
Also, when they are wet, super important, because some people they just climb out of the shower and they start detangling. But when the hair are full of water, they are more fragile and the elasticity is not the same.
So that's why we would advise that to detangle them, you have to wait until they're just humid. Like don't detangle them when they are really soaked in water. Just wait a little bit. It's going to be easier to detangle, and then they'll be stronger as well.
Very important question. Where can we find your brushes?
So it's only the start of the adventure. So right now we sell them on our website, which we feel is actually the best place to buy them, because you can do the diagnostic in like 5 super easy 10 seconds question. It's shipped directly to you wherever you live in the world, so that's super practical as well.
Okay guys, so I hope you learned how to properly brush your hair and that you will start doing it twice a day. I hope you enjoyed discovering La Bonne Brosse. Go check out their website in the description box below, and if you like this video, like it, subscribe to Gazette, and see you next time.
Bye
Bye.
Don't forget to use the code Gazette if you buy a Bonne Brosse, because you will get your shipping for free.